glow beside the sea. There's no one there but you and me. So let's make love in the ozone. September comes, September comes. And when she's lonely, she just gazes in the glass. And when she's lonely, she just counts the blades of grass. The glider crashed into the hill where your time stopped. My time stood still.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
And overhead a bomber drones. September comes, September comes. Here comes a boy. He's looking
I think we're just going to go through it as it comes.
He's growing horns. He's grown a tail. He needs a love to call his own. September comes. September comes. September comes. September comes.
That's Robyn Hitchcock on KCRW Santa Monica at 89.9, KCRY Indio Palm Springs 89.3, and KCRU Oxnard Ventura 89.1 FM. KCRW is a community service of Santa Monica College, and we are national public radio for more of Southern California. We just heard September Cones, previously unreleased, but it came out last year as part of a whole set of songs that we've never got to hear before on a CD titled You in Oblivion out on Rhino Records. And right before that Robyn Hitchcock song, we actually heard a single by an English band called Homer. The single's Lucky 13, and coincidentally, not that coincidentally, I guess, since I played it right together, Homer actually, although a great band in their own right, they also act as Robyn Hitchcock's backing band over in England occasionally. Superdrag gave us Nothing Good Is Real from their record Regretfully Yours, and local band Ms. 45 gave us their 7-inch called Ian. I'm Tricia Halloran, and this is Brave New World, and I'm happy to have Robyn with us. Good evening.
Hi, Tricia.
It's so theatrical with you over there in the dark with the spotlight shining on you.
Well, you're in the dark with a reflection of a spotlight shining on... No, it might even be a real one. There's a sort of halo a little bit away from your head.
Excellent, the halo effect.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of 50s classic diner UFO halos.
Maybe aliens will come down and take us all away.
Perhaps they have.
So Rick Gershon, who's here with us from Warner's, was surprised to hear me playing Homer. He was very impressed.
So am I. Where did you get that from?
Well, actually, I'm friends with Tim because I met him when he was playing with the Airplanes and they played on Brave New World. So we've kept in touch, and he sent me the single and subsequently wrote me that he was backing you guys up. So, I mean, I play it all the time, so my listeners are...
Oh, great.
Homer is at home here.
Well, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, so they work with you over there when you need a band, they back you up?
I've borrowed them a few times whilst making this record. But they're doing their own, quite a few shows of their own at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess their CD's actually sold out of all the store. Like their first pressing is sold out in England. So
I think that one has, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So they're working on a second one right now, which everybody will get to hear as soon as Tim mails it to me, hopefully. So you're just in by Southwest, as am I. Did you have a good time there?
Yeah, it's really good. It's you can meet everybody you've ever met in the music business.
You
in
can
3
re-meet
days. It's like being dead. It's fantastic.
It's like being dead because...
Well, theoretically, everything's supposed to turn up afterwards at exactly the same sort of rate.
I see. It's like all the people you've been meeting for years are suddenly in the same
that kind
place.
of we're all together over on the other side vibe.
Right.
Only as there's no time, it might as well be 3 days or eternity.
Exactly.
But fortunately, unlike being dead, you can get out of it. You can just leave.
You can go. But there's not many places to hide in Austin because everywhere you go, you see people that you know. But you can just depart, I guess.
Well, nobody stays there much beyond the allotted 3 days. I mean, there aren't Actually, that's not true. There are colonies of groovers. In fact, I think Austin's got the highest colony quotient of any American city. It's taken over from Seattle as the place that groovers flock to.
Groovers being people who...
Well, they were groovers when I was young, and so I like to insult them, today's youth, by using a similar terminology. You could say nice young people who whistle jolly tunes, if you like.
It's a bit more descriptive.
Hard to tell, really. I don't know what they do. I guess mutilate themselves and shoot up heroin or whatever it is,
That doesn't make them sound like nice young people.
Oh, it's fine. It's one of the great middle... It's a sure sign someone's a healthy middle-class kid, probably.
That's true.
I mean, in my day, we just sort of whittled away at sticks with pencils and drew on the walls of caves.
So you've brought your guitar, which I'm quite pleased to see.
Yeah,
you have some songs in mind. You can have a drink first. I didn't mean that.
It's all right. These are... this isn't the guitar I usually use. I haven't used this guitar at KCRW for some years. Maybe not since 92 or something, so I hope it works okay. No, I had it in here in 93. All right, let's see what happens. This is called The Devil's Radio. Darling, you don't have to call me Stalin or even Mao Zedong, 'cause I'm far too young. My rising sign is Capricorn, is that surprising? You know that I was born so very soft and easygoing. I make no trouble at all. I was listening to the devil's radio. I was listening to the devil's radio. And it went na 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 on the devil's radio. That sounds nice in reverb, actually. Evil, its tentacles are blind, it's like a weevil. It burrows through the land and everybody smiles, Michael, don't you know someday a spike will grow right through the woodwork and come out through your palm? We was listening to the devil's radio. We was listening to the devil's radio. And it went na 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 na
on the Devil's Radio. Sunsets on the Devil. Sunsets on the west. He's listening to the FM talk show. It's what he loves the best. Talking through a bimbo, but don't touch that dial or that hateful smile. Kate said the flowers of intolerance and hatred are blooming kind of early this year. Someone's been watering them. We was listening, yeah, we was listening to the Devil's Radio. We was listening, we was listening to the Devil's Radio. And it went na 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 on the Devil's Radio. Yeah, na 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 on the Devil's Radio.
It's The Devil's Radio live by Robyn Hitchcock on KCRW. Is that a new one for the new record?
Yeah, I hope that'll be on the new record.
But you're recording it right now. But you haven't made the final selection yet.
I'm just tidying it up, actually. I've got to go and sing the double track chorus of that tomorrow in a studio very near here. Because when I originally did it, one of me's going, ah, and the other one's going, yeah, and they're out of sync. So I have to sync up these exclamations.
Sounds more like, ah, yeah, yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound very professional.
Well, we wouldn't want that.
No, perish the thought.
So let's talk about your what's going on with you right now. You've got a new home at Warner Brothers.
Yeah, that's right.
And this will be your first record for them, and your first new record really in quite some time.
That's right, yeah. Rick and everybody have kindly sort of found me a niche there, a place, a deal, which I actually signed this afternoon in the 818 telephone area, what used to be known as beautiful downtown Burbank. And the record should be out in July, I think. I've been working on it for about 2 years.
Wow.
So it's just a matter of sort of fine-tuning it and then incredibly frantically trying to sort out all the artwork and kind of, rush it indecently and then put it out. I believe it's coming out on vinyl as well.
Oh, good. Of course, the deadlines will be on you before you know it.
I think they're already there, actually. They're just kind of hovering around my
already.
shoulders. You could probably see them.
Exactly. Does it have a working title yet that we can refer to it as? Or?
Oh, yeah. It's called B-Man Ray. No? B-Man Ray? Something like that. I think it's either called B-Man Ray or The Feelers Was Everywhere.
One of those two.
Yeah, or Wide Open Star.
Well, we're happy to get to have you so far in advance of your album release. It's a real treat.
Well, certainly in
to hear
advance of
these
me
songs.
titling it. But thank you very much.
So that will be in July. And you, I don't know how much you were involved last year, but last year a bunch of your older records and the unreleased tracks thing that I played earlier came out on Rhino. Did that take up a lot of your time last year, or was that pretty much done
No,
ahead
it
of time?
took a long time just corralling all the tracks
Yeah.
together because they sort of,
Slipped away
scuttled
from
all
you.
over the place. They were hiding under the bed and things like that, and you had to entice them out with either bits of string or warm milk or claps of thunder. But actually, once I'd assembled all the stuff, Rick, again, surprisingly, and his friend Jim Neal, actually put You and Oblivion together. So I can happily disclaim all responsibility for that.
But you wrote the story on the inside.
I did that many years
to
ago,
take-
long before I'd even written most of the songs. It's as well to have your own liner notes prepared, well into the future.
Exactly. So they'll always remain current. They'll have a life of their own, so to speak. Yeah, I like. I mean, it's great to hear all those releases again, but it was especially nice to have You in Oblivion come out and hear songs that I didn't even know existed in many cases. So
No, nor did I, because I'd lost the tape. In fact, so there were quite a few I didn't know were there, but they are now anyway.
they popped up.
They're back.
Would you like to do another?
Yeah, I'll try. Hang on, let's see. This is Dekiriko Street. But on the record, it's going to be pretty different to this. This has actually got Tim's band on the record. And my friend Otis Horns Fletcher.
I was followed home by a weighing machine on Dekiriko Street. It said, "What do you know?" I said, "What do you mean?" on Dekiriko Street. And the numbers turned to fingers, and the fingers turned to flies, and they buzzed around your portrait. I was followed home by a 73 on Dekiriko Street. It was advertising you and me on Dekiriko Street. In the photograph we kissed, the conductor's name was Milo. As the bus went past he hissed, "Flashhead!" A hyena sprang, she was on all fours on Dekiriko Street. And her outline showed through a strip of gauze on Dekiriko Street. If you meet me by the clock, I could kiss you through the window, 'cause you love that sudden shock. Don't moralize, get on with it. You can go now, you've discharged all your responsibilities. Now, on Dekiriko Street. Yep. Where the sundial fell, it was oh so black on Dekiriko Street. And a lizard's tail slithered in the crack on Dekiriko Street. And the pale yellow globes flicker softly in your window as you pace the night with strobes. It's the darkest dream in the whole wide world on Dekiriko Street. It's a bat, it's a bat, it's a bat, it's a girl on Dekiriko Street. In my pocket nightmare's dress, I said, "Jasper, this one's evil, but I love my lioness, my lioness."
Got a bit of a cold, actually.
Dekiriko Street from Robyn Hitchcock with the Cold, although you could have fooled me. And that is the solo version of a song that you'll be able to find on hopefully on his upcoming album to be released on Warner Brothers in July. And you said it sounds different on the album just because it has a band with it, or is it a different?
No, it's exactly the same words, but it has, other musicians. It's got a bass on it. And,
Drums
invisible.
and-
Well, sort of. We actually took the drums out, so all you can hear is the reverb of the drums. But
Interesting.
and my friend Fletcher specialises in almost clinically unbearable harmonies on the sax. So it's just probably a more challenging sound than that.
But the basic terrific songwriting remains the same, I'm sure.
Thanks. Well, it's there.
You can see Robyn Hitchcock tomorrow night at the Alligator Lounge and Pomegranate opening up, so it's a great double bill.
But I think I'm on before them.
You are? So you're the...
They're actually closing
10?
up.
You're the 10 or the 11 or...
No, I'm on at 8.
8. I'm just getting the high sign from Rick.
Yeah, yeah.
You're on at 8 and then Pomegranate will follow. That's probably a better way to go since you're solo and they'll have their whole band there. But
Well, what are Pomegranate like?
they are sort of, somebody asked me earlier tonight, are they moody or are they rockers? And I said, well, they're really moody rockers.
Well,
I
there's
don't really
quite
have
a few of
better
them,
way,
aren't there?
yeah, to describe them. But they're really good. They're a trio and they're from Oakland, which is up near San Francisco.
I know Oakland, yeah.
And they're excellent. And their first full-length release, they've had a couple of 7-inches, but their first full-length release is coming out in April. So we're looking forward to that. And they come down and play here quite a bit, actually. They are good folks, Pomegranate. So actually I caught at South by Southwest you reading the end of the reading that you were doing.
Oh, yeah.
But I wasn't at the beginning, so I didn't hear what book you were reading from or what your connection with that was.
That was a short story I wrote for Scott Schinder, who has sort of edited a book of... It's just a kind of Rolling Stone reader book of various sort of thoughts and sayings and lists by rock musicians. I mean, there's people like Graham Parker have written things in there, and Murray Attaway, and odd little bits. I can't think of all the names really. There are loads of them. The guy from the Replacements has put some
Paul
anecdotes.
Westerberg?
No,
Or
the
the
drummer,
other guy from the Replacements.
Chris Mars.
So it's
I
sort of
think.
a place for collected pieces of journalism by rock musicians.
Yeah, and there's also stuff about rock music. There's lots of kind of
History.
worst of the alternative and best of the non-alternative, and remember those fabulous 80s and all that whole lot. Everything that traces its glorious lineage back to the Velvet Underground.
Which is pretty much everything.
Well, as you know, music started with the Velvet Underground.
Right, there's nothing before that, obviously.
No, there was nothing. There was a void, and then there was the Velvets. Talking of which, Lou is playing tonight.
He is playing
In fact,
tonight.
he's probably played.
He's
but I
probably
guess-
done, and he's probably listening to us in his dressing room. No, doubtful.
Hopefully not.
And actually, Luna opened for him, which was a great double bill. I told listeners all last week, well, you can either go to Lou Reed and Luna, but if you can't get tickets, then you can stay home and listen to Robyn Hitchcock. So either way, they were set. We got them covered tonight.
Do you have a show every evening, or is it just every Monday?
Most weeknights.
Ah, right.
I don't get out much.
Is Gary Calamari still here?
Gary Calamari is still here, although in fact his name's Gary Calamar, but we call him Calamari all the time. So.
Because we borrowed his show last time I was
Yeah,
here.
hijacked it, I heard, actually.
It was fun, yeah.
He's actually moved from the hijacking hour that you hijacked him in to...
Is it no longer possible to hijack his show?
It's a little harder because it's in the daylight hours now. So, well, it's 6 to
God.
9, but it's actually moving to 3 to 6, and he's got 2 days now, so... Or, no, he'll be 3 to 5.
What would be a good show to hijack these days, then?
I guess you'd have to hijack. It's just easier in the after midnight hours because there's less people around
Hopefully
to
no one's
restrain
listening,
you.
yeah.
Right, right.
Except for perverts.
You could hijack Ann Litt's show, Pajama Pop, and you know Ann, actually.
I do, but
So-
sadly we won't be here when... Oh, it's Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, next time there's a Saturday, maybe we could... I don't know, she's somewhere around here.
I'm sure
that
she'd
would
be happy
nice.
to let her hijack
We could
your
always
show.
hijack a bit of it.
You're always welcome to hijack my show. You just take off whenever you want. Go crazy.
Right, well, as you know, I mean, I listen to the same 31 records in endless sequence, and I never change them. I do wash my clothes, viewers, but I don't change my listening habits.
That's my next
Because
question.
I'm a caboose that faces backwards. But my girlfriend, she's got not only her 31 endless records, but she listens to new things as well. She was with me last time and supplied some of the things that I wouldn't normally have played.
To just give it a little bit of that modern spirit.
Well, modern, like something after 1967.
I didn't really get to hear that show that you did with Gary. What kind of stuff did you play?
Well, we played all my old stuff that I listen to, whatever it is, the Dylan and all those old all the old ruins. And I think she slipped in a few things like Cabaret Voltaire and stuff.
Very esoteric and good.
She's got a great track by 23 Skidoo with Aswad doing the brass. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's really exciting.
It's wild.
And there's a song called Soul Train by Swan's Way. Ever heard of that?
No.
Soul Train. It should have been done by Bowie. It sort of takes ages to die away.
Wow.
Actually, the album after the one I do after this is going to be an album of cover versions called "You're Gonna Love Me for This," and it's going to have. I'm going to do things like "Rock the Casbah" and "Clear Spot," and whatever those other old things are, you know.
Then you can add your own record to your endless loop because it'll have the songs that you
Right?
don't hear anyway on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm also writing a song called "I Want to Know Everything Already." I don't want anything to happen for the first time, because that's what happens to all my family. They watch a film and they sit amongst each other saying, "Is this the bit where the commander comes in?" And they got to know what's happened.
They don't like surprise. They like to know what's coming.
Yeah, the only way you can get them to understand something is by having them explain it back to you before you've told them. It's very difficult. That's why we're all kind of learning resistant. It's quite an interesting little mind loop we've devised for ourselves.
And do you agree with that philosophy, or do you try to buck that philosophy?
No, I would. I think it's quite ludicrous, but at the same time, it's in my instinctive way of doing things. But you know, sometimes I counter that by pulling out a phone book and making myself learn some new addresses. Let's see where the sproats are, you know.
Well, additionally, I would say in your both your songs, but more so I was just thinking of your writing that I've read, you do tend to sort of just go off onto some different kind of reality that bears little resemblance to to the actual world, which is sort of a way of countering that as well. Because you like your stories usually deal with pretty unfamiliar settings and unfamiliar beings.
Well, I think it's the theory that the artist wants to play God, that you want to create your own worlds. You know, I create and destroy miniature worlds pretty fast. That's one of my abilities. But I mean, in general, artists go away and make their own worlds and then sell them back to other people. And I don't know why we do this, but it's very important to be able to carry on doing that. And every song that I write is a sort of scoop out of that particular world. And yet, you know, all I'm doing, presumably, is in some way reprocessing what's in front of me. To me, it's analogous to dreaming. I assume that the way I make things up is the same way that I dream. I don't try and interfere with it much that's why I seldom make a point in a song. You know, I mean, personally, I'm pretty strong socialist, and I'm a generally very left sort of character, but you can't just go around preaching. These things have to kind of unravel themselves, you know. There are so many self-evident atrocities in the world, but it seems that only those who are able to see them are able to see them, and the rest of them will never know. But I admire Billy Bragg because he actually does try and deal with reality.
Right. Yeah, a lot of artists do, and yeah, I completely see what you're saying, but it is true that we seem to spend a lot of time trying to persuade other people that, you know, this political thinking is the correct political thinking.
Yeah.
And you're probably right. They're never going to be persuaded anyway, so
No.
what's the point?
There probably is.
Somewhere. Let someone else do it. That's what I say. So speaking of sort of the worlds that you create, how often do your songs come out of your stories or vice versa? Does it always work one way or the other?
I think I write lots of titles, and if I get a title that suggests a whole story rather than a song, I'll go for that. I mean, I've been writing this story called The Unbaby for the last 2 years. I've got things like whatever it is, The Giant with the Handbag, and other things that I haven't started yet, and Colin's Execution, and they'll take me ages. But songs are quicker. I can write down a bunch of titles. Like, you can write a song in 3 minutes, and being someone with a bad concentration span, I tend to go for songs because you can make it a bit more coherent.
Right. It's a little easier, I guess.
Yeah.
Not that I could ever write a song, but I guess relatively. So you always come up with titles first?
No, but if you don't come up with a title, your creation will have no identity. And if you don't name it pretty fast, it's like a child, you know. That's why people have always got names ready to drop on the kid before it pops out, because otherwise it's in limbo. I mean, my daughter, her code name was Bollard before she was born, and for a week, you know, after she was out in the real world, we just called her Bollard, and we said, this is no good, we'll have to call her Maisie, you know. But,
yeah, something different, no doubt.
and the same with well, I don't know. I think titles are quite useful.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, it is great to talk to you. I'd love to hear a couple more songs off the new album if you want to give them to us.
You want me to play them, or you want to imagine what they'd sound like on record?
Let's take a vote. I think play is the consensus
Okay.
in here.
I've got a cough, so I'll sing it with a cough.
It's Robyn Hitchcock live and coughing on Brave New World.
Yeah, keep the reverb flowing. This is called This Is How It Feels. Don't wanna lose it. Don't wanna lose your love. Don't wanna lose this. Don't wanna lose your love. Something in you that just isn't in anyone else. Something in you that just isn't in anyone else. Something in you that just isn't in anyone else. This is how it feels, and this is where it goes. This is where it starts, and this is all it knows. I've got to have you inside a darkened room. You've got to hold me just like the quarter moon, just like the quarter moon. Something in you that just isn't in anyone else. Something in you that just isn't in anyone else. This is how it feels, and this is into you. Sometimes it rips you up, sometimes it blesses you. It's the way you love, it's the way I am. It's a sideways glance in a full-on world. Ooh, woman in you, woman in you. Ooh,
This Is How It Feels. It's Robyn Hitchcock live on KCRW. That is beautiful. That's a
Oh,
beautiful
thanks.
song.
It must have had some reverb.
Be hard to make that song sound bad, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, hopefully. Actually, it's really easy to make that sound dreadful.
Oh, let's try that
Quite
version.
hard to get it right. No, that's got a violin on it on the record. That has Denny Bonet, who I met at Mountain Stage in National Public Radio in
right.
West Virginia. And she's done bits of touring with me. And she's a very elegant player. You know, she'll very quickly do a bunch of beautiful harmonies, or you can keep her in check and just give her a couple of tracks. But on the record, that just has electric guitar and violin, which is a lovely sound. It's like
Wow.
that sort of old Steel Eye Span
Yeah.
or Velvet Underground sound. And I'm quite pleased with that, but it sounds pretty different.
It's beautiful.
Right, I can do another. You want me to do one more?
Yes, or 8 more if you want, but yeah,
Let
at
me
least
see.
one.
I can do this one I've written, but it's not on the album. This may well never come out, actually.
All the more
It's
reason you
that
better
kind
do
of
it
a song.
now.
This is called The Feelers Was Everywhere, which actually comes from a conversation with Tim. And do you know Jen?
Never had the pleasure of meeting her
Jennifer
yet.
Blair.
I've talked to her
Well-
on the phone.
Oh, right. Well, Jen and Tim and my girlfriend Michelle and I were recovering from New Year's Eve. And the expression "the feelers was everywhere" appeared at about 4 o'clock.
Feelers was everywhere, trying to get in. Feelers was everywhere, pinker than sin. Feelers was all about crawling inside you, knowing that something would make you feel good, so good. Feelers was everywhere, thruffing your coat. Feelers was everywhere, tugging your goat. Your goat is stubborn like the feeling inside you. I knew that something would make you succumb, so come. Come and get feelers all over your like Norris fever, like Norris feeders, like Norris fever, I knew that something would make them feel good. Feelers was intimate, crawling through you. Feelers, they know more about you than you do. A brand new perfume called Le Murky Sensation. I knew that something would make me feel good, so good. Yes, I know that something will make you feel.
Robyn Hitchcock live on KCRW. The Feelers was everywhere. That's a great song.
Thank you.
Do you want to head into another one, or I don't want to
I can try.
overtire?
Yeah, I lost my
Be
book
great.
of embarrassing singles actually, but now wait a minute. There's not much on this album that's in G, and there's nothing in C. I'll try this one. I've just got to get into open tuning.
All right. You can catch Robyn Hitchcock tomorrow night at the Alligator Lounge. It's highly recommended. Get there early. He goes on at 8 o'clock. Following him will be a band from Oakland called Pomegranate, who are also excellent, so don't miss either. Robyn's just in town to play that one show, and it's great of him to stop by here. And just signed a new deal with Warner, so we can look for a brand new album featuring most of the songs you're hearing tonight, hopefully in July. And this is the sound of Robyn
Sorry, this is
tuning.
what Martin Carthy does. He has to get it in tune.
It's got to be in
Only
tune.
Okay, this is going to need reverb because I got a cold, and if that wasn't my excuse, I'd have another one. Okay, this one goes out to Rick and Julie. And I'll try it with the pick. This isn't the Hail Mary pick. Oh, no. Is it? No, it's the un-Hail Mary pick. This is called Heliotrope.
Heliotrope, my love, her face to the heavens, her petals all around her dial, her shadow follows her. It looks like a 7, and I'm as loaded as a gun. She worships the sun. She worships the sun. I lie beneath the ground. My eyes are unseeing. My name is gone from all the files. The tombs are shimmering deep into her being. It could be lethal, but it's fun. She worships the sun. She worships the sun. She worships the sun. She's full of happy beings, no shadow within her. Your paranoia makes her smile. And when the cat's head grins, she's ready for dinner. You know you're gonna be the one. She worships the sun. She worships the sun. She worships the sun. I said now, she worships the sun.
Heliotrope from Robyn Hitchcock live on KCRW. That sounded great.
Thanks. It's a bit more in tune on the record. I've recorded one with the guitar in tune.
Well, that's always a good option. It's nice to
I
have
should
both.
probably just wander off into the void at this point.
That is fine. I was just about to excuse you, and thank you so much for coming by.
Well, thanks for
giving
having
us
me.
this little sneak preview.
And yeah, anyway, the show's tomorrow night, so come along if you're around.
I might be able to make it since it's an early show, actually.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock.
Right. I'll try to do that.
In fact, I think Lou Reed's doing an in-store either at the same time or just afterwards. So
Always in competition.
yeah, with Lou. What an adversary.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, we're even on the same label.
Well,
Now, that really is something.
All the best.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. And thank yous on the KCRW side to Cassandra and Linda, and on the Warner's side and all around good guy side, thanks to Rick Gershon for bringing Robyn by.
Yeah.
Since we've mentioned Tim Keegan and his band Homer several times, I thought we'd give people another crack at checking that out. Tim Keegan's band Homer has dual personalities, one as their own band, Homer, and another as Robyn Hitchcock's backing band in England. So I'm going to play Indestructible.
That's the best track.
I love that song.
Yeah.
And it's from their single Lucky 13, which is an import and might be impossible to find because it's sold out, but they're recording a new single, so we'll tell you about that when it comes. Oh, and I have tickets to give away to your show tomorrow night. I almost forgot. Here's how they describe you: the prince of psychedelic folk pop. That's pretty good.
Well, that doesn't really leave very much uncovered, does it, really?
No, it doesn't. Robyn Hitchcock at the Alligator Lounge tomorrow, Tuesday, March 19th. Hamill on Trial, Pomegranate, and Mrs. God will also perform. We have 5 pairs of tickets for KCRW subscribers to see Robyn Hitchcock at the Alligator Lounge tomorrow, Tuesday, March 19th at 7:30 p.m. If you haven't won any giveaways from us in the past 90 days, call now with your membership number at 310-450-3524. These tickets are available to KCRW subscribers only on a first-come, first-served basis. That's 5 pairs of tickets for KCRW subscribers to see Robyn Hitchcock at the Alligator Lounge tomorrow, Tuesday, March 19th at 7:30 p.m. And here's Homer.